Guys, Kelly here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a premiere episode of Fred Henry's West Georgia Rods and Customs 10 Questions with Modelers. I got this idea the other day. I was watching Fred Henry's video from the ACME show. I will put a link in the bottom to that, or to his channel. You'll have to go find that video on your own. I mean, unless I can figure out how to link that. Should be able to, maybe, there'll be something down here. Anyway, at the ACME show, at shows, Fred gets a group of modelers together and has 10 questions. And he goes around the table and I had the privilege at the SCMA, the South Carolina Modelers Association Simpsonville show this year, to be part of that panel with Rocky Sink of Star City Models, Gary Seeds of Hanging with Mr. G Seeds, and Fred. Great time. Really enjoyed it. And I have watched every single video he's done like this, all the 10 questions with modelers. So I thought, after watching the Atlanta NML video and how much fun it was for those guys to get together and do that, and I encourage you to go watch that video, because there's a floor show that just erupts in the middle of it. You got to see it, okay? That's all I can say. I'm not going to spoil any surprises, but, you've got to go watch it. Anyway, I have been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Obviously, I can't have Fred Henry here asking me the questions. Or can we? So, I copied down the questions from his video and thought, well, I will just answer these questions. But Fred Henry's going to be here to ask them. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, it's like he was standing in the room. So let's just see how this works. Sorry, Fred. One detail that is on all your builds. That's a great question, Fred. I have covered this on my channel before. And actually, there's at least two details that's on all my builds. I always use white shocks, and I always use a white shifter ball. Okay, not always. 95% of the time, it's going to have white shocks and a white shifter ball. Unless it's one of my Mopars that has a pistol grip shifter. And, that will kind of eliminate that. I'll just cover my face so this will really fool you. Krylon or Rust-Oleum? Your thoughts? Again, I don't know how you come up with these questions, Fred. This is really intriguing stuff. Over on Lucas C's Hobby Headquarters, this is a hot button topic. I mean, you don't want to mention using Krylon on a model. Krylon. MCW. No, I did not build that one. That one belongs to Jim Ashley. I purchased it from him. I use their primer. I use their flats. I'll use them for interiors. I try my best to stay away from them for bodies. Mainly because, like it says, it is furniture for long. It's not furniture. It is paint for long furniture. So I try my best not to use it. Occasionally my wife will come up with a color. When she buys you a car and says, I like that color, you kind of go with it. So, question number 3. What is your Holy Grail kit? Years ago, we were refinancing our house. And this has been like I have been very, very blessed that I actually own my house now, which is just such a gift from God. But years ago, when I was fixing to refinance our house and I was going to pay off a credit card in the process, I thought, I'll go shopping. So I hit eBay up. And one of my Holy Grail kits was a 1963 Plymouth, the Johann kit. I managed to get it. I wanted to make sure that I had all the Roadrunners in 1/25th scale, and I managed to do that. There, you can't see them, they're the shelf below this. I've got my Roadrunner Evolution shelf, and I'm working through building the years there. I've been blessed to be able to purchase every MPC Dodge van, every Barracuda in the 1/25th scale, starting at the 64.5. I actually have a 64.5 promo, 65 kit, and you know that's coming back out, so I'll be getting more of those. But Holy Grail kits right now are, you know, I've been modeling. I'm 60 years old, and I have been modeling off and on since 1970. So, you know, 56 years of building, you know. Now, we've also heard this story. I've lost my first collection to a fire, lost my second collection to ex-wife, and I'm working on my third collection. And I've got a very supportive wife, so I've been blessed to be able to purchase, if, you know, when I'm so, like I said, I have got pretty much everything I want. Now, I'm trying to figure out, I'll have to get back to you on that one. I mean, this might be another segment for another time. Question 4, what's your favorite glue? There again, Fred, great question. I use Gorilla Glue Super Glue Gel, a large percent. I actually still have tubes of the Tester Orange that I do pre-assemblies with. So engine blocks, chassis, stuff like that. I still use that on there. Tamiya Extra Thin, I use that. So the, what is it, BS Industries glue, I've used those. I just keep going back to the Super Glue Gel. I've got the GS Hypo for my clears. So that's pretty much what I'm with right now. Question 5, do you shoot test spoons? Sadly, no. Most of you know I am a rattle can outdoor painter right now. My basement isn't conducive for an airbrush. My house is weird. Okay, my house was built in 1890. So what basement is there is like 300 square feet. And the front porch over here hangs out over part of my basement. So, you know, rain gets in and everything else. So it's just, you know, hey, it's 100 and some odd year old house. So I've got 3 airbrushes. I've got one of those little battery powered that my son got me. I'm planning on trying to use that this summer or this spring and see about starting some airbrushing. But then again, it's still going to be outdoor airbrushing. Maybe I'll test spoons then. No, I lied. I did do a test spoon. I did a test spoon for my Porsche build, for the Porsche group build. Question 6. How much is too much detail? I don't know. I do spark plug wires, and I do basic plumbing. I'll do upper and lower radiator hoses and heater hoses. I have done battery cables. I don't do brake lines. I've never really thought about super detailing anything. I mean, and gosh knows I love them. I love seeing these people that just can throw everything at it and be able to pull it off. I've got big sausage fingers and short attention span. And like I said, I try to build to make me happy. So, and like I said, I go to shows, but I'm not a competitive person. So I just go to shows to see my friends show off what I built because I'm proud of what I built. But some of you guys are just, oh, good golly. If you don't go to shows, you need to go look at some of this stuff. Question 7. Does social media influence your builds? Fred, I have thought about this because social media does influence my builds, because I will see something and I think, I like that. Y'all know I've got an I like that segment. I like that, and I would like to build something similar. Now, I won't copy 100%, but, I have seen just recently, okay, BG and Tiffany over at Dirt Road Cinderella, those two, and Jason's supposed to be presenting his later, but they built the Iceman Collection Slayer tee. And that is a really cool thing. And I think, okay, I need to get one of those. And probably in 2025, I would be purchasing one of those if he does it again. But stuff like that influences me. Colors, paints, tools. I've got to blame it on Batson. Mark Batson. I've got tools because I've seen him use them. I've got tools because I saw BG use them. And, so yeah, that's influencing my builds. Question 8. Do you consider yourself as a content creator? Have you been drinking, Fred? As a content creator and influencer. I've said it in one of my videos. I can be used as a bad example. No, I don't know. I had a comment about one of my YouTube videos that I did recently. I like that YouTube. I haven't been drinking either. One of my YouTube, I like that segments. And the person's, when I showed him, linked him the video, his comment to me in private was, that was one of the coolest things that anybody's ever done for him in the hobby. That right there meant the world to me. All the likes and anything else about that, but that he thought that was one of the coolest things. And I've got that a couple of times on that. And that's why I do that, is because some of these guys don't have YouTube channels, or you're not a member of the Model Car Mafia, established 2018 over on Facebook. And like I said, that's just to have somebody tell you that for something that you've done is just, it's heartwarming. It just tickled me to death. All right. Question 9. What is the oldest kit in your collection? Whew. Oldest kit in my collection. I mentioned the 64 Dodge Polara, or excuse me, the 63 Dodge Polara. Got a 63 Rambler. Okay, I have a 63 Rambler too, but I also have a 63 Valiant. I have a 56 Ford wagon. It's kind of a promo toy because it's got this little cord with a little battery-powered remote control. I don't know if it goes back to 56. Excuse me. A minute cheeseburger. Sorry, digress. I don't know if it goes back to 1956. I think it goes somewhere around that era. My brother-in-law found it at a yard sale and gave it to me, and I mean it's pretty cool. I mean, it's the old acetone plastic, so it's kind of warped up, but it's it's pretty cool. So I would say that would be the oldest one. Question 10, the final question. What is the best part about model shows? Fred, I'm like you. The best part about model shows is interacting with your fellow modelers. I go to shows, and like I said, you can see, okay, I've got, and I pointed them out for you, and they're covered up because you can't see them back here, but I've got like 6 trophies up here. I've got one on the wall because when I was cleaning, I broke the picture that went there, and I had to put something back. But down here, you see this little space over here? Wedged down in between those 2 walls is several of my plaques. Most of them are in the basement. I mean, I'm honored to have won those plaques and those trophies. But that is not why I go. For years I went with a buddy of mine, Ron Sherlin, until he passed away. That's why I went, because me and him got to spend time together. We got to meet some of our friends. I go so I can hang out with my buddies, so I can meet new friends. You know, meeting Fred Henry and Brian Burwell and Josh. I'm sorry, I don't remember Pork Chop. At Extremist Models, Fred Henry's West Georgia Rods and Custom, Mark Batson, Hobby Dude 007, Brian Burwell. Brian, I'm sorry, I forgot your channel. Got Fuels. Meeting these guys face to face, Tim Brown at Throttle Power, that it just tickled me to death. And that's why I go, is to hang out with you guys, talk model cars with you. Tim Kalankowitz, Tim's Custom, Irvin Arter, you know, Mike Ramp, all of my friends. That is why I am there, is just to see these guys, have a great time, talk about models, buy a few things, and just hang out. I mean, it's fun. That's why I do it, because it's fun. Guys, I appreciate you watching, appreciate you liking and sharing this. And there again, I encourage you to go over to Fred's channel, take a look at his 10 Questions with Modeler videos. Look at all of his videos. He's working on his USAC Dart, and he's doing some impressive work on that too. But Fred, thanks. I appreciate you letting me take this idea and run with it. I wish I was better looking. I understand, you know, but you know, we just work with what we got. Fred, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Appreciate you being here. That's okay, guys. Pretty cool. So I wished I had BG here, because he does a better voice than I do. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for liking, for comment, thank you for sharing. As Fred says, if you can dream it, build it. And as I say, if you like this sort of thing, this will be the sort of thing you like. God bless you guys.